they just cleaned that up perfectly.
To have this man pop off like he just did.
Absolute menace on this Tracer, taking over.
Undefeated from this team.
That was such an insane final fight.
They're just getting torn apart.
And that'll be it.
And they run over the shot.
One more chance, one more push. Maybe they turn it around. It's so close. It's incredibly competitive.
Another one. Disrespect. Give it to him, bro. 1, 2, 3. A huge shatter from Kalu.
I mean, what a series that they play.
Welcome back, everybody. It's time to get the matches started. It's summer stage. First match is fought out between Florida Mayhem and Houston Outlaws.
Like we never left.
It's back. The first, it's the battle between the top 2 and top 3.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, yeah, we're looking at the Florida Mayhem right now. The roster, I mean, it's as expected. I mean, they had a great run in the mid-season madness.
There we go.
Sorry, guys, it's taking me a little bit while to. We just got back, and of course, Houston Outlaws as well. They unfortunately lost to the Atlanta Reign, but they did have a great run as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, great showings from both teams. I think Florida Mayhem, Houston having no roster changes at all. One of the only teams, honestly, to do nothing at all. But you can't really blame them. I mean, they look really strong. Like, what changes they really... Atlanta also made no changes.
Yeah, they're set.
No
they're
surprises.
good.
You get top 2, you're not feeling under too much pressure. But I think for Florida Mayhem, they traded Sana to London, which I think is a good trade. It's like maybe London can put better use of this guy. I think Checkmate and Merit, they're just such a solid combo. You don't need to make any swaps. And one of the things about Overwatch I always felt is if you don't need to switch your players, don't do it. And like if you can give the same players all the play time and still feel good about your hero rotation, this is like the best way to play as a team. It's just the most consistent. And as well, I want to talk about the backline. Chorong and RuPaul have been really solid performers. It's going to be really exciting to see this team. I think Houston's a very tough test for them, but if they can win this match, who knows? Maybe they get out of that bubble spot, 3rd place. Maybe they move up.
It is interesting. You talked about the damage and the supports, just quickly as well about the tank. You know, someone, he's not as good as Fearless, because Fearless is, you know, arguably the best Winston in the league, right? He might have to pick up Winston more now. They play a lot of Matra, but Houston Outlaws, like, they're very confident doing their thing, putting Pelican on Tracer, for example, diving a lot. And if the meta has remained the same, the Houston Outlaws are just gonna, you know, start up where they left off essentially in the second half, right? So the Houston Outlaws, they're looking really good going into this matchup. To me, the big question is Florida Mayhem, like playing Junker Queen here, for example. Are we going to see Florida Mayhem throw these kind of compositions at the Houston Outlaws? Or will they just opt into the Winston meta and just play Winston almost permanently, right?
Yeah, I think it'll be really telling, really, for how the meta is going to look, what these teams choose to do now. I think for Houston, I'd be pretty surprised if they don't play Winston. But like you said, for Florida, I mean, I could see some Queen coming out. You know, Queen did get some buffs on this patch that could make her more viable, potentially. But I still think Winston's going to dominate. I think that's what we were hearing on the grapevine.
Why are you looking at me like that, Josh?
It's time for Preds, Danny.
It is time for Preds. Let's take a look. I don't think... Was there anyone that was bold enough to choose Mayhem? Let's be honest.
I mean, you would be the one.
I did it. I'm sorry.
Wait, actually, no, you lied.
As much as I love Florida Mayhem, I mean, if we're sticking to the same meta and if it's, you know, sort of the things that we saw in the mid-season madness, it has to be the Houston Outlaws.
Yeah, I feel the same. Shockingly, everyone is flabbergasted that I would Pred out. No, I mean, I think this could be a close match. I give it 3-1. Florida has consistently taken maps off Houston every time they go up against each other. So it could come down to the map pool, could come down to some cheeses. Florida always seems to have something cooked up in their back pocket.
Yeah, last time these two teams played in the regular season, not the mid-season madness, it did go to map 5, and I'm betting on more of the same. So I'm going map 5 here, but Houston Outlaws, I think they're gonna take it, Danny.
Okay, all right. I mean, the desk is all green. Let's hear from our casters. We got. Oh, sorry guys. Let's take a look at what the chat
Much more
predicted.
important than the casters.
Yes.
The chatters.
86%. No, wow.
Oh. I mean,
wow. A lot of Houston believers. For a good reason.
It's an undefeated matchup. Yes, it's too close, but it's an undefeated matchup so far.
Okay. All right. I mean, yeah, I just said it right now. Let's hear from our casters. We got Jaws and Costa. Costa, why do you think Costa actually told me right before we were doing predictions that that Florida Mayhem is gonna play Life Weaver?
Yeah,
You got the inside scoop?
Well, they're one of the few teams to ever play it with 100% success, right? We know they like to go against the meta. Maybe this is the secret sauce they need to beat Houston Outlaws. No, it might. Hey, you can't doubt it because
Start the game, casters.
No, Lifeweaver. I don't think Lifeweaver's ever lost a map, so I think someone should try it out.
Wait, that's true. It's
That's
good.
it.
It's
Never
broken.
lost a map in the Overwatch
It's the
League.
Overwatch League Illuminati that's suppressing Lifeweaver, guys.
It's Johnny on the desk.
I do not think that's true.
It might be.
I don't think that's true. Also, I would like to bring to your attention this tweet. I didn't mean to put that in, man.
Have you been holding on? How long have you been holding on to this gem?
Oh. That's actually not even joking. I have a Torb turret folder, or like no Torb folder, which I have a hammer kill on like Kevster. I have a turret kill on you. I have a hammer kill on another pro. I can't remember. I don't know, man.
You're one of those people that's going to upload, these crazy-ass montages of you killing everyone as Torb.
Best character in the game. They just nerfed him.
All right. Well, let's talk about this match, though. We got the Florida Mayhem taking on the Houston Outlaws.
Yeah.
As they said on the desk, the Houston Outlaws definitely favored. 86% of the chat believing in the Houston Outlaws as well, and that's because we haven't seen the Florida Mayhem take the Outlaws down so far this season.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty tall order. What's already cool, actually, is that Mayhem just picked up someone else, called a player called Maka, literally this morning. So many roster things happened this morning.
Couldn't we have done it earlier, like when we had that huge break? We could have talked about these kinds of things.
I swear, it's just like, oh, let's sabotage Clutch. Let's sabotage the official, obviously, broadcast. But like, we won't be seeing Maka. I don't know if anybody saw Gumba's response and Ye's response, but they're building for next year. So obviously, sticking with this roster today, it makes the most sense with Chong and RuPaul having the most playtime on the team, surprisingly enough. But Merit, Checkmate, and someone, at the end of the day, this team, they are top 3, for sure, undoubtedly. But the Houston Outlaws, apart from the Atlanta Reign, which has been everybody's kryptonite, they are solidly number 2. Like, their dive game, their Sombra game is just so good. There's no one that can really contest them in that second spot. But if Mayhem come up with a solid win, or maybe a couple of maps, like having this first and second place gap that is currently existing would be a little less fun if it wasn't for second and third having a little bit of a closer gap too. At the end of the day, the Florida Mayhem needs to come up with a win, but the Houston Outlaws, they look too strong, man. They're like 7-1. They're only lost against the Atlanta Reign.
Yeah, and we know that there is a new map pool. We're going to see new maps, different things. There have been rumors that the compositions that are being played in the beginning of this summer stage are very similar to what we've seen in the past. The Winston, Tracer, Sombra, while when we play Control, we will see more of these Ramatra Rush compositions.
Yeah. Which, yeah, love it or hate it. Probably will see a little bit of Winston. I quite like it. I do like Dive. Better than anything else, better than like May Simp, for example. We're seeing a little bit of May here. Phyllis is only getting walled off. Nice little boop, actually. No speed in, potentially. Chong does get antied. Because like, they tried to rush down Houston Outlaws, but it's actually Merit that goes down first. Happy with a double blink smack onto the back line, and RuPaul's in trouble. Forced to use that lamp pretty early as Happy just peppers them in the back line. RuPaul pretty low, does chase Happy off eventually, but the point unlocks, and the Florida Mayhem playing on the back foot.
Yeah, there's difference in compositions here. The Outlaws, they're playing Violet on the Brig, while Mayhem playing with the Lucio and the Mei, so they can dictate the tempo whenever they want. They can drop these walls, use their speed boost, while the Outlaws, they're going to have more sustainability. Even though the Outlaws, they get that first pick with Happy on that Tracer, they don't have the way to close the fight out. So even though Mayhem playing at a disadvantage do get the first re-flip of the capture and win the first team fight.
Looks like Happy is stalling at the point then. 18%. Oh, good. Yeah, that felt like Houston Outlaws not wanting to force the issue. They're going to do that now, though, with Fearless with that nano. RuPaul ends up going down, only trying for healing, but Florida Mayhem are trying to isolate the Outlaws backline currently. Someone used the Annihilation, pushing on forward, kills Shu as the point's about to get flipped if Florida Mayhem aren't careful. There it is, and still Florida. Completely isolated. Away from the rest of the team is someone right now. Right into the backline again, Scott, but he does end up falling. Remember, he used his Annihilation to try and cut down the Mayhem, but it didn't end up working out. Violet does end up getting traded for someone, though, but the Outlaws, they're going to be able to stick on this point for a long time.
Yeah, and Fearless is just punching this backline. They're able to anchor down here with the Ana and the Brig. There's just so much healing. Overclock from Pelican, though.
Overclock through the window. Window does end up falling over, but without much of a damage boost, might not be able to find anything. Does find Fearless, but that was Fearless getting caught out more than him just kind of inting there. Ooh, nice kill. However, with the point flips, the Florida Mayhem, they can't afford to let anybody else go down. With Shu dead, Outlaws still have to play slow.
These guys have been fighting for the last, what feels like 5 minutes, and they're just going back and forth. They're trading the point. It feels like Florida Mayhem have the numbers consistently, at least on the point, but the Outlaws just aren't going away.
I don't know how long the break spin's got, 3 weeks, but it's feeling like Soliky right now. It's just like permanent fights, right? I mean, these kind of what this comp does, though, in a way, because everybody is quite sustainable, apart from, well, Merit, I suppose, but still has kind of a dash away. Checkmate, Happy, they can kind of look after themselves. The backline can do that. I mean, Bap's got the regenerative burst, which he can hit if he gets in trouble. Like, the Ramatra is also very sustainable on their own, so very scrappy, but not too surprising.
Yeah, and the Outlaws, they're now at 61%. Their backs are against the wall, and they used a lot of ultimates to try and close out that fight as well. Happy's putting on point pressure, trying to take down Chorong, but there goes someone with the Annihilation.
Annihilation and the window. Florida Mayhem throwing 2 ults into this fight. Want to make it the last one, but Annihilation is going to disappear. And now Nano onto Fearless. He does run on forward. He's got Annihilation of his own. Should be a surefire win here for the Houston Outlaws. Happy does trade his life for 1, but Chorong's actually a pretty decent pick. Fearless can't use that speed boost to the Annihilation, but doesn't need to. Merit without a dash and without a life now ends up going down. Florida trying to get OT. There's the Nemesis form. Whoop, whoop. Tries to take him out. Wasn't able to do so, and that'll be the cleanup. But 96% for Florida as finally we get a bit of respite.
You could see Fearless, he wanted to hold on to that Annihilation. He didn't want to have to use it, but with that great shot from Checkmate onto Happy, does have to part ways with that one. And now Pelican with the overclock once again. One of really the major ultimates and only ultimates that the Outlaws have to hold on to this point. Oh, Happy lurking with a pulse bomb though.
Happy should know where he is, or at least heard the blink. Just trying to set something up into the escapes from Lucio from here. Fearless is pretty low, has to drop. Happy still waiting in the wings, pulse bomb in hand. However, Violet's already dead. He has to make his move. Fearless has been frozen, his health bar just disintegrating. Pelican, Fearless, dead, Happy, hiding away with the pulse bomb. Didn't get anything. In fact, just forced RuPaul's lamp, but that's about it. Florida Mayhem looking rather clean. Happy double blinks on the point. Forces OT, but that'll be about it. I mean, Violet got boot back and no one to touch as Mayhem secure the first round.
Outlaws just not really reacting to anything that Mayhem were doing. They were waiting for Happy to get that pulse bomb, trying to find any value. Pelican pops the overclock, but the Blizzard's already out by then, so the Outlaws just not really reacting fast enough to the speed that the Florida Mayhem are playing, but very back and forth. And something I wanted to point out as well, Jack, from that round, Happy was on the Tracer, Pelican on the Sojourn. That's unlike what we would usually see from both of these players. Historically, Pelican has been the Tracer player, much improved in that role, and Happy is the hit scan. So maybe adding some flexibility into their lineup, maybe hoping that they can switch if they need to later on. But at this round, for sure, is much more conducive to playing that Winston dive style.
Oh yeah, no Sombra in sight. In fact, Merritt's gonna play Ashe instead. Trying to help Checkmate in the air, trying to duel with Pelican. That was almost a mirror. It's just like mirrored right now. Put a mirror in the center of the screen, and both wins to jump on the high ground. Same with the Echoes, just opposite ones. Phyllis pretty low. Someone's going to chase after it. Phyllis only got that miniature health back. Should go down, you'd at least think. Nice leap into the air. Someone helping Checkmate finish off Pelican. That'll be the point cap for the Mayhem, I'd imagine. Uh-oh. Well, choosing trouble. Doesn't want to give up his life, though. Because Violet's just around the corner.
Yeah, Pelican's going to switch over to the Sombra, realizing he's not going to be able to do anything against the Echo of their own from the Florida Mayhem and Merit on that Ashe. And that's really the major threat that the Florida Mayhem have. Merit is a world-class hit scan who can just sit on this high ground, throw out so much damage, and the Outlaws are going to try and route through this mega health pack to get onto them.
Good hack onto Chorong. Oh, perfect stuff. Hook, line, and sinker for Happy and Pelican there. RuPaul dead. Pretty easy fight win here, you'd imagine. Wow, Fearless just kind of cleaning up. All good, no heals. And someone not long for this world. There's the flip. Beautiful manual hack from Pelican.
Instant value from the Sombra. Pelican recognizes, well, if they're just going to play super far back, we'll just go to the point and punish whoever's there. Chorong was the one who did end up getting caught. And now the Florida Mayhem, they're going to have to enter into this fight with an Ashe and an Echo. There's no one who's going to be able to follow up space, and that's why you see this wholesale switch as they go over to the Tracer Sombra as well.
Happy. No, he hasn't got pulse bomb, so I don't think he wanted to wait around for too long. God, that mega health pack hacked is going to be rather annoying on this rotate. Gets the one clip from afar. Thought Tracer wasn't nerfed, although that was just this recent patch, so which we're not playing on currently. Nano boost. RuPaul gets antied. Nice nade from Shu. That was a mile away nade too. I mean, that's basically it. Nice little zap. That'll be done. Unfortunately there, someone used that Primal Rage, Scott, so
No value as well.
no value at all.
Just with a nano boost, the Outlaws were able to close that one out. We know how strong Fearless is when he gets that ultimate, but now Pelican has the EMP and the Florida Mayhem. They don't have any ultimates, and the time is already ticking up for the Outlaws. Early
it's
EMP.
so easy. What a bubble too from Fearless. Just cutting off those heals. Slowly but surely, Outlaws using their ult bank to just whittle away the Florida Mayhem. And with 70% Pulse Bomb, Primal, and the rally for the Outlaws, like, this is last fight for Florida. They need a big stick from Checkmate here.
Yeah, they do have the nano boost that will enable someone to go in. Shu does get hacked, and there is pressure going on, and someone's following up.
Nice nano. Good nade, though, from Shu. Defensive nade. Rally comes out. That overhealth building up, as well as that extra armor for Violet. Shu is not dead. That guy is not falling over. And look at this. Frontline warrior is Violet. There's the stick.
Huge.
However, is it enough? They trade support for support, but with no Primal Rage, someone using it in his last fight couldn't survive. The sustainability is just not there. Happy gets the stick on the shield from Chong, dropped it. Maybe the shield got broken, but Outlaws with a masterclass on downtown.
That's inherently the danger when you decide to play a unique composition on a unique point. The Florida Mayhem, they want to play this Ashe Echo style that's just going to be high damage, and if they have control, they can hold it. But then they have to switch over to the Tracer, the Sombra, and the Brig because they weren't able to match what the Outlaws were doing, and therefore they didn't get any ultimates up to close out the round. Stick here from Happy. And maybe we're going to see more Happy Tracers. This could be a consistent thing for the Outlaws in this stage. I don't know how Choron dropped that.
Or the shield got broken. Don't know, because I think Pelican was shooting him there as well on the shield.
Yeah.
But, yeah, rough stuff, rough stuff.
Yeah, Pelican on the Sojourn as well. Happy likely going back to that Tracer. Maybe this is the difference maker for the Outlaws in this stage, but we're getting...
I love Zen on this map, man. Like, you play in that little corner there, there's a mini health pack if you need it. But the problem is, Florida Mayhem, almost expecting that, they're going to run a Sombra of their own with the Tracer. It's going to be hard for Violet to stay alive, but if someone could stay alive, it's definitely Violet.
The Zenyatta is a greedy pick, just inherently. You can do so much damage, that Discord Orb is going to make it difficult for someone to move around the map, but this is what you have to deal with. Just a Sombra hunting you 100% of the time.
Oh, it doesn't want to get one clip.
And
yeah, there you go. I mean, two people shooting you with aim that Pelican and Merit have, you don't stand a chance. I like that with the Sojourn too. I guess you could use the Disruptor shot to try and get away the flankers, but there you go. They do trade though. Violet going over to the Brig.
Yeah, maybe not.
Enough fun has been had. Violet, back to Brig for you.
Either Outlaws are still going to win this one, even with Violet going down. Shu has enough healing to keep them alive, and the Mayhem dive just didn't have any legs after the kill onto Violet. So now we're seeing Outlaws just starting to play a slower style. I was expecting them to just keep playing the Winston Tracer Sombra.
Sorry, what?
As that's a pretty... Whoa!
Excuse
Mayhem
me.
with more...
What's happening?
Interesting swaps.
This is Widow nerf patch as well, so she can't one-shot from nearly as far away anymore. Although the sightlines here, you're more than okay to just tap ahead.
What does someone do in this composition? He doesn't have a Lucio to move him around. He's not going to be able to close the distance. There's going to be too much healing coming out from Shu and Violet. They're just relying on this Merit headshot to come through, which isn't an awful strategy when you have a player like Merit, but they're just going to be at the mercy of that.
He's just hanging out. He's hanging out with Nano.
Well,
there's the body shot. Oh,
nice
what
save.
a sleep. Oh, a little grapple in the air too. Oh, come on. You missed Steven Tracer, really? Even with the grapple? Come on, Merit.
He hits everything. That's the one he misses.
Yeah, that's the one, yeah. Unfortunate. A pity we got it on camera.
Yeah. So now we're going to see the Outlaws make swaps of their own. There's a lot of counter-swapping happening so far in this first map. Fearless is going to stay on the Ramatra because he has that Annihilation, but someone does as well, and Checkmate with a Pulse Bomb.
Checkmate wizards a Pulse, and we're happy. See what they can get done. Merit's almost got sights.
Wow, he got those really quickly after that Widow swap. I was questioning
bodies.
But he makes it work.
Body shot bandit. There you go. Not quite.
Florida Mayhem and Florida Mayhem and Merit, sorry, they've always been willing to just make these swaps to this hard hit scan because of how strong Merit is at. Fearless is getting so low.
So low.
Has to pop the Annihilation early.
Annihilation. He's going to tag a couple of people, but that's going to wear off.
They got the flip.
Was it worth? Not sure. They didn't end up getting the flip, yeah, but if someone can get value with this Annihilation, which It's looking like it got thwarted by the Outlaws. Good shield and just good placement of the bodies. And now Merit has just got a chance to click some heads. Pelican dead. There's the rush from Chorong. Florida Mayhem want to take this back ASAP. But with Outlaws taking that point,
Not bad.
Not bad. As long as you can sort this out for a little bit longer, you're kind of happy with that if you're the Outlaws right now.
That would have been a great fight for the Mayhem if they just didn't lose that flip, because how much percentage did the Outlaws get? 30, 35%. While the Florida Mayhem, they had to commit major ultimates to that as well, as Merit looks like he's going back to switch. Probably too much pressure. With Shu having that nano boost, he's not going to be able to stay. Oh, okay. Yeah, switch.
Sombra.
Over to the Sombra.
Okay.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
No surprise there.
Pelican is coming up to this EMP. Florida Mayhem don't have many tools to deal with it either.
EMP. They do have tools to deal with it. They're shooting at them. They shot at him and he died.
The best tool.
The best tool. Killing the opposition. Nice stick onto someone from Happy. That'll be good for one. Fearless goes down. No tank fight here. As with this approaching EMP, it's going to be tough for the Florida Mayhem to get back onto that point. Pelican 3% away. He gets the manual hack onto checkmate. No, that he has pulse and he can't blink after Violet. Nice manual hack again. Sommer's doing a lot of work with without the EMP. Violet doesn't end up going down as he's contesting the point. Fearless rejoins the fights. Can they survive for long enough? Chorong forced a TP away. It was a short TP, but it was good enough to save his life. And now OT for the Outlaws. They're fine giving up this point, knowing that the Florida Mayhem had to chuck at least 2 ults into that one.
I don't think the Houston Outlaws have won a team fight this entire map so far, but they've just been getting the flips, so therefore they're staying in this round as we're going into last fight territory. Lots of ultimates coming up. You can see someone stepping up. They want to go first.
The Annihilation's good. Shu, Violet dead. Last fight for the Outlaws. They need to be able to get back to the point, and Happy's already gone. 10% to go. Fearless with Primal. He has to go for this big old triple jump. There he goes. Winston to the moon. Oh no, he gets hacked. He just managed to get to the point in time though to trigger overtime. As now is Pelican's chance to get the retouch. Can Fearless get back? Yes, he does. He ends up paying for it with his life, but Pelican's got EMP. He is going to be able to hit it, but is it going to be enough? It is good, but is it going to be there? Is there damage? Is there follow-up? I don't think so, Scott. Even with the nano boost onto Pelican, it might not be good.
Two?
But Shu, how does he get 2? Chorong and checkmate dead. Someone has to touch, though. The Vortex, they can't get over it. Oh, Shu tried so hard at the very end with a double kill, but it'll be Mayhem clutch in the first round.
Shu, when his back's against the wall, is the best DPS in the world. I'm convinced of it. This man just doesn't go down when it matters the most. But I have to give massive credit to the Mayhem and someone. He's usually the one orchestrating this. They recognize they're going into the final ult fight. They go so early, catch the Houston Outlaws off guard with an early EMP and Annihilation, and that snowballs into that round win and getting the first map against the Houston Outlaws.
Man, how did Shu get 2 at the very end? That was crazy. I mean, who better than Shu to get something like that, especially on Ana. Close map so far, Scott.
Yeah. And, you know, not many people came into this series believing in the Florida Mayhem. As much as they've been an impressive team so far this season, they had their weaknesses against the top 2 of Atlanta Reign and the Houston Outlaws all of last stage, but they've made some adaptations. They're playing the game slightly differently, but so is the Houston Outlaws with some weird swaps and some weird changes. They came out not really wanting to play that Lucio, not wanting to start on that Winston Tracer Sombra. I don't know what's been going on in the scrims during the break, but there is some wacky stuff happening. Not as much Winston Tracer Sombra as expected.
That might just be map issue, though. I mean, Busan, especially Mecha Base.
Oh, this is the 2K, by the way.
Oh my god.
How?
Just a little 2v1. You know how it is.
Oh, there was
you get
a little
help with the Sombra.
A little bit of help.
Hey, it's a 2v1 in my eyes, all good. Oh yeah, I forgot. Well, I didn't forget. Map pool.
Yeah.
It's changed. Numbani. Okay, Numbani. Rate the map, real quick.
I prefer not to speak, otherwise I get in trouble.
Yeah. Second point doesn't exist. Remember that. Remember that, Overwatch League fan.
First point very much exists.
Very much exists. Defender favored for sure. It's going to be good to see Circuit Royale back in the pool as well, especially with how the meta's kind of, or at least we think it's shaping up with a lot of Sombra and Winston dive. Might see some double sniper. We'll have to wait and see. We're going to jump to a quick break. Don't go anywhere. Numbani up next. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Florida Mayhem and the Houston Outlaws kicking off the summer split. Mayhem taking a map win off of Outlaws already, but we know what you say about control.
It's a coin flip.
It's a coin flip.
Nah, it's not. There's a lot of strategy that goes into it, and we always know that these teams can go toe-to-toe. They're
for sure.
world-class caliber players in all roles, but Florida Mayhem getting the best of boosts on a new map. But as we talked about earlier, going into this break, Jack, Numbani. And I can't remember the last time we've seen Numbani in the Overwatch League. It might be 2020.
Oh.
Because it was taken out of the map pool for an incredibly long time.
It was.
It was reintroduced in Overwatch 2, but since then we have not played it much in the league, at least to my memory. And it's a very unique map because it's incredibly defender-sided, especially on the first point.
Yeah. The spawn points are just so close to defense. And like, you have to walk out into a Roman-esque Colosseum as everybody looks down upon you and throws rotten tomatoes at you as you try and assault that first point. Like, it's rough, man.
Or you walk through that small corridor to get onto the high ground, which every Ana has a set spot of where they're going to throw that nade.
I'm just saying it. Playing Numbani defense as like an Ana or even a Torb, it is one of the more fun things to do because you put your little turret down, you're just shooting your little Cheetos, your little spaghetti noodles, and then as Ana, you wait for them to come high ground and you're like, haha, guess what? I can throw a nade.
This is how Jack got me in that Torb 1v1, by the way. That's how he got me. We were playing Numbani.
It was too easy. I didn't even, do you know what's a joke? I didn't even know where that's from.
Yeah,
It's so old. It's so old.
It's been a while. But I do want to say, you get very unique compositions when you play Numbani first point, and the Florida Mayhem are making no exception. We're going to see someone come out on the Reinhardt, and this is common, so let me explain what happens here. As Jack said, you can either walk into the Colosseo on this low ground up this street, but it's so difficult because you're being assailed from all angles and they can drop from the high ground whenever you need. So most teams will actually opt to try and take that high ground and go through that corridor. That is why someone is playing the Reinhardt. He wants to be the gatekeeper, the bouncer, asking for admission to the Outlaws.
Oh, are we seeing a little Violet Mercy? Okay.
To pocket the Echo.
Makes the most sense here. I mean, Pelican, or Echo rather, I guess technically Pelican, got a damage. Oh, Violet's switching over, okay. Well, Echo in general did get a buff a couple of patches ago. Easier rock charge.
Yeah.
And that just means more ults, which means more copies of Ryan, which means someone maybe get tank gapped by Pelican here if he can find it. Okay, Violet's back on the Mercy. Okay, I guess they were just waiting to see what they were playing, but this does make the most sense now with Violet on Mercy. Just damage used from the Echo. It's just so crazy the damage you can output. Sticky bombs can almost one shot, but it's really the ultimate that'll be the difference maker, especially with damage boost.
Yeah, so the Outlaws, they're going to play the dive, and what they need to do is they need to find a way to get onto the backline right here. If they allow Merit to stay up here pumping out damage, exactly what just happened will keep happening. Fearless is going to take too much damage, there's not going to be enough support. And you saw Checkmate, as soon as Fearless dives, he's throwing up a wall, isolating the backline.
Yeah. It's all about stopping Shu from getting heals in. Oh, okay. Like to see that. Merit just taking the head off of Violet. Now, Pelican a little bit more vulnerable in the air. Defensive favored map.
Violet's come so far from 2019, one of the best Zenyatas in the world, now playing the Mercy, pocketing Pelican, and he's struggling so far to just be able to get in and help his team, as this is a minute and a half off the clock already for the Outlaws.
It's rough. Even with losing that 25 HP on the Cassidy. Cassidy's still pretty hard to take down, so as a damage mitigation on his roll, plus that nade has been changed. And there it goes! Did you see that arc, by the way? It just went over the top, straight down on Violet's head. Oh. Nice high noon. Fearless can't jump onto the high ground. He's going to get his head blown off. Does break the bubble to Magnade, which now hinders a target. So it stops them using movement abilities, and that's basically everybody on the Outlaws apart from Shu.
Yeah. And now it seemed like a frustration down there from the Outlaws. They're going to go once again with the copy onto Pelican, but
what does it do?
Has to run instantly.
What's he can't get rally. Okay, maybe he does actually say it. Now he just chews through the shield. Perfect lamb from Violet to keep him alive and earning themselves a rally. There is a Blizzard, not sure where it went. It looked like it went main, in fact, as Violet and Shu have been caught out. Violet's super low, does run into the room, get a health pack, but the high ground is just firmly in control of the Florida Mayhem. A minute and 20 seconds to go, 61% on the board.
Yeah, going back to my Violet, just very aggressive.
Okay, he tests him, he wins. Merit forced down from the high ground.
That's an important move. Getting Merit onto the low ground, all of a sudden he doesn't have this dominant position, so now Fearless can take it for free. Mayhem are now the ones on the low ground, stuck walking into the Coliseum.
That window. What? From Violet. He windowed Florida Mayhem's backline. Primal Rage available from Fearless, but he ends up going down.
No
and then
front.
someone just holding the door. I mean, at the end of the day, when you've got that shatter, you can just wait for the Outlaws to try and get to the point. Hit the shatter, easy kills. And last fight now for the Houston Outlaws.
Doesn't feel like the Outlaws have had a clean dive the entire time. Violet's been getting picked time and time again. They used the nano when Violet was already dead. Now Fearless, the only one with an ultimate shoot, almost back up to a nano, but the Mayhem, someone has the shatter of all things. Can he put a nail in the coffin for the Outlaws?
Okay, that does suck. Chorong actually got booped off the edge or bashed off the edge, so he's not up with the rest of his team. There's the Hinder. On to Fearless.
Nano up.
Good. Oh my! Charge shatter. Someone just cleaving Shu down. That is disgusting stuff. High Noon on the point, and yeah, 5 seconds to go. Although Houston Outlaws do have a lot of ults. Primal Rage, Dupe, and the Pulse, Scott. Very winnable here if you're the Houston Outlaws, and with RuPaul dead, there's a whole lot less healing. And in overtime, looks like Houston Outlaws are finally going to do it. I mean, it's only someone of Merit in that small room. No chance they escape this one alive. Nice charge. Attempted to kill Pelican. Not going to happen. And there it is. Chad Reinhardt play from someone, but unfortunately it wasn't enough.
Yeah, it was just, as we know to expect, a great Primal Rage from Fearless, even though someone eviscerates Shu at the beginning. But that's the first point done. And as you said, coming into this map, Jack, the second point is very hard to defend because it's so offensive-sided because of how close the spawn doors are. Any pick that you get is advantageous for the offensive team, but Checkmate, he's found Happy and he's close to an EMP.
Yeah, there's no one really there to follow him up, sadly, so doesn't go for the manual hack, would rather stay cloaked, inconspicuous. EMP 4%, like you said. Might be nice to get this dupe with it. EMP hit the dupe as well, kill the dupe, so Pelican doesn't get free ults.
Merit's gone over to the Ashe again. We saw this a little bit in Busan to no avail. He's going to be able to put so much pressure from the back high grounds, but he has to be worried about Pelican. Pelican has the ability to just go hyper-aggressive into him.
Yeah, dive in, hit the dupe, maybe dupe the brig.
Yeah.
Start swinging. We'll see what Checkmate wants to set up. Did hit the cloak. Oh, he gets a spy check there, and a window on the high ground of the bus for Violet. Nothing really coming of it right now. A little bit of damage, but that's about it. But more payload progress, the better.
Some warning shots coming out from Violet.
Oh, good EMP. Violet already hit the exo boost and was able to get a lamp onto the high ground, but still chased down by Chorong. Rally straight into the back. EMP rally. A very, very expensive fight for the Florida Mayhem. However, holding here is pretty decent. You get to set up the high ground again. Merit's going to get a Bob, you'd imagine. There's no one to hack the Bob either. Pretty nice stuff so far, but Houston Outlaws clearly like to fight near OT. Pelican's still got that dupe.
Yeah, he's been holding on to it. Just got EMP'd, no time to pop it. Violet playing a little bit of mystery here as now goes over to the brig. Merit's coming up on this Bob as well. I want to see Outlaws hit their foot down on the gas. I want to see an effective dive. It feels like they're just standing around right now.
Literally standing. Person standing emoji. Pulse bomb available. There's the nano on someone. Backline in trouble. Pelican does hit the dupe and he hits the Ana. Just healing up the rest of his team. Double nano may be available. Sleep getting thrown out, but that's about it. This dude's going to wear out before he even gets a nano boost online. He's already pretty low. He's got his own nade. Throws it out.
Great
does
nade.
hit the backline. Hits 3 in fact. But a good flail onto Fearless. A 3-man anti from a duped Ana. Doesn't find anything. Houston Outlaws are still pushing this payload, Scott, but will they be able to get it anywhere near close to this checkpoint? I mean, a couple of meters will do it, but Merit's still got this high ground.
Yeah, Merit's just raining down shots, and the Outlaws can't do anything. He's so free. He's playing Kovacs right now.
Boom. Dynamite goes out, and there's the engagement from Fearless. Primal Rage used, getting Chorong out of the fight, but someone's already managed to catch Tracer of all things. Chorong dead, there's the rally.
Huge.
Outlaws have the ults to fight now on this point. Violet is pretty low, he's burning. EMP's good though. Violet's hunting down, but Shu keeps Violet alive. Fearless and Pelican are going to do the rest. And that is the second point unlocked. Houston Outlaws making a nail-biter again.
Very few teams have the ability to win against those odds. Merit was just doing so much damage, but they juggled just long enough for Fearless to get back, Violet to get that rally, and they continue to stay alive. 1 minute remaining, though, for the third point, Jack, as someone's going to switch over to the Junker Queen, of all things.
I don't know about the JQ here. I mean, you are fighting in close range, I suppose, and it's hard for Fearless to get a lot done. Pretty sustainable, too. Oh, hello, Butterfly. Did you see that Butterfly just chilling? Yo, what's up? Nano Boost available.
Is it on Pelican or Fearless? I would expect Fearless to get this one.
I would imagine so. Yellow Sleep Dart didn't happen. There's... Oh, my damage. Oh, someone. Yeah, you can't survive against that Sun, I'm afraid. Nice dupe. Stops himself going down. Gets Tracer. Can you get a free pulse? Just keeping them in the spawn room right now. Double Tracer. There's the pulse. Nice stick. Onto someone. However, Chong and RuPaul are going to be able to keep him alive, especially with that rally going on. Dupe eventually wears off. And now they have to contend with this rally, this over health building up. There's the kill onto Fearless. Final fight territory. Florida Mayhem let first and second go, but third is very much theirs. A meter to go, but only 5 seconds in the time bank. Nice damage from Pelican, but nope, not today. Checkmate kills the backline, and then Chorong kills Pelican, who tried to go for that touch. And there we go, the payload ends 70 meters. Almost getting that third point.
Outlaws just...
Welcome back, everybody.
Yeah, Outlaws just running out a little bit of steam at the very end there. Just no ultimates to deal with the Chorong rally, but they came a long way from that first point. They were narrowly capped that first point, so yeah, you can't be unhappy.
It feels like Havana in a way where if you enter the third point or like the third phase and you just capped second point in OT, you are not capping third. Like, you are straight. It's so defensive heavy on that last point. Like, you need a giant snowball, like avalanche level, to try and get through that third point. Sorry, it's really tough, and especially when you have the enemy team has rally. Good luck. Like, you have to hit a pulse bomb or a good name.
And we're gonna see the Merritt Cassidy, which
is this a Magnate?
Yeah.
Yup. Look at him follow.
Oh, there's no way that.
I mean, that is ridiculous. He didn't even stick him. It was just the AoE damage, and Pelican and Shu were just like, what?
Bruh.
What just happened? I'm so glad we got that in the replay. That is so...
It's a homing missile that you can't run away from.
Did you see the... one of the devs put out, this is a few months ago.
The May one?
The May one, it auto-locks onto May cross map. That's what it felt like right there.
Bro, they joked about it, but that's kind of what that was.
That is right
They
there.
made it, but not for May. They made it for Mercy.
Perfect change.
No, hey,
Devs, perfect
no
change.
Mercy slander on this match. Okay, now we're going to see the Florida Mayhem walk out, and there we get to see their look at how they want to attack it. They're going more pick-focused rather than dive-focused. They have Merit on the Hanzo, Checkmate on the Echo. They're going to pump out so much damage that the Houston Outlaws are going to have to respond. They can't just allow Merit to stay here shooting arrows. He will land on someone eventually.
Yeah, he's going to hit the lottery sooner rather than later. Short lead from Fearless there, just up and down. Nice little boop. But luckily, Hanzo does have a dash. Nice double shot. Good stuff. Man, watching Shu play Ana is just...
He makes it look so easy.
Oh man, it's so clean. Like, good Ana play in general, or like even just good aim from like Widowmakers and stuff, it's just nasty. Shu, like a long time ago, I brought this fact up before, but when it was Overwatch 1, there was 6 players, no role lock, he used to jump on Widowmaker every now and then because of how good his aim is.
Pretty good.
Like, who's really surprised about that? Like, his aim on that character is just clean, and 70% to an ult already, not bad at all. Even Happy and Pelican are so close.
Yeah, and that's how the Outlaws need to play this. You could see, as soon as Mayhem, they want to take this short little spot here, get Merit on here. The Outlaws, they're waiting for Merit to overstep, and then they're going to dive on him.
Shu's pretty low. I need a pack, please. No packs available. Lily?
Nano up.
Nano available. RuPaul's 4% away, though. Fearless taking infinite damage. There you go. Nano heals him up. Oh, I don't know if that was a sleep, actually, but
huge nade.
Whatever happened, a nade landed in the backline, and once again, Shu does it. RuPaul and Checkmate were in trouble, and now Primal Rage from Fearless. His health bar just almost disappearing right in front of his eyes there, but does get healed up. That's a lot of free ult charge, mind you, for Shu and Violet. However, here comes the redive. A nice dupe on the Ana, but instantly taken care of. Wow. Fearless doing Lord's work right now on the point, but it's not enough. Checkmate's laser far too strong, and now someone's going to have his own Primal Rage. And he surfs Shu away right past that mega health pack. Florida Mayhem have popped the rally too, so it's going to be a tough recontest from the Outlaws.
Yeah, they just pop all 5 ultimates, run onto the point.
Double break, double break.
Contesting
Nightmare
Violet.
fuel, nightmare fuel.
Oh
double
my God.
rally Okay, finally they take care of Pelican. Actual nightmares were just had there by the Florida Mayhem as two Brigs approach them, like Storm of the Beaches of Normandy. Checkmate dead with this recontest looking rather strong, but Pelican does end up going down. Both echoes falling, but the Houston Outlaws, they've still got a pulse and they've still got Happy on the points. Merit also taking a boatload of damage, and with a minute and 20 seconds to go, all Florida Mayhem were able to get was a point and a half, or a checkpoint and a half there.
And as I said earlier, Florida Mayhem, they used 5 ultimates to get into that last fight, so they have nothing left with only 1 minute remaining, and Outlaws, they're reset. One big difference though is that Shu and Violet are stuck on the low ground. So they're going to be playing here, healing up Fearless. Shu's coming up to another nano boost. Same thing from the Houston Outlaws. When Merit steps up, Fearless goes.
They're down the low ground, which kind of sucks. There's Pelican, got the nano. Oh, the damage is so good. Merit, I don't think he even needed to get lasered there, to be honest with you. Sticky bombs were enough. Got a free ult charge as well, mind you. 40 seconds, Scott. Dragon Strike Primal for Mayhem. They clear off this high ground, but little do they know, there's not really many people on it.
Yeah, Mayhem coming back up to those ultimates though. Last fight here for the Mayhem to get this first point. You can see, look at Pelican, he's lurking, he's hunting, he's trying to find a backliner, kill them before anyone can help them.
If he gets ult too, he can just pop the Brig maybe.
Ooh,
oh, there's the damage. No, can't quite get it. A leap away from Merit as he slings out the Dragon Strike. But Pelican, more than happy to fight close quarters with the Hanzo. Not advised, but if you're Pelican, you can just dodge out of the way, it's all good. Someone's on the point, receives a pack. It's going to be out of contest for the time being, as overtime will end up being popped by someone. There's the rally from Chorong 2. Testudo formation on the point to try and stall out for as long as they possibly can. RuPaul's even got the nano, but someone's just isolating the backline. Fearless and Pelican, with no heals, cannot survive long enough for their supports to battle through someone, and that'll be the point unlocked.
Someone just keeps getting in the way of RuPaul trying to shoot Shu.
Please.
Someone get out of the way.
Let me do damage.
Don't let me heal you. But that will be them closing it out, as you said, Jack. This is pretty much word for word exactly what happened on the Houston Outlaws attack. The first point is so difficult that it doesn't matter how long it takes you as long as you get there. Now the question becomes, can the Mayhem get the second point faster? Now it's the Outlaws the ones who have the ultimates up.
This dupe's so scary. Dupe for checkmate too, though. Let's see if they dupe the same target. Duping Brig is kind of a cheat code sometimes, it feels like.
There's a lot of great options to dupe. The Tracer, the Winston. Honestly, there's no wrong option for any given situation.
Yeah, it's kind of true. I mean, I guess the only wrong option would be the Hanzo. Wouldn't be the strongest pick out of all of them.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot Merit was playing.
Yeah, we forgot about the Hanzo there. All good. We haven't seen Hanzo in a long time, to be fair.
Someone getting very low on this point.
Oh, there's Nano. There's jump on the high ground. That's a lot of value. Good nade. Good sleep as well by RuPaul. Will wake up rather quickly, but can he make his presence worth it? Yes, he can.
How is he
19
alive?
HP for Fearless, and he gets out. Still swinging, though, is Chorong. Still alive. This backline from the Outlaws is just gross. Absolutely gross. There's the dupe on to the Ana, but nope, checkmate is slept. Better Ana wins, I guess. And the dupe is going to run out in just a moment. Heals himself up with a nade. Oh, gets the sleep on Pelican. There's 4 Anas. Perfect Overwatch has been found. Nice little shots onto the other dude. Ana there, Pelican eventually going low. The amount of antis is just absurd. And there we go, the Florida Mayhem fighting tooth and nail for this second point, and they managed to make it work.
Checkmate can do it all. He's showing us his Reinhardt tank prowess. He's showing us how great he is on DPS. Now he's just flexing over to supports and showing that Ana ain't that difficult either. But Florida Mayhem, a much cleaner run through the second point. And the Outlaws now, they have to do everything they can. The box of victory is at the very end, but if Florida Mayhem gets there, they're going to take a 2-0 lead in this series.
Happy taking a little bit of damage from the sticky bombs. All good. Just want to stall this out for as long as possible. You blew a lot in that fight. You've only got that primal. You got to know Chorong's of that rally. Well, you definitely know now. Swings the flail, puts up the shield, and everybody backing away. You don't want to get stunned. Shu in the firing line, but Merit has other things to deal with, that being Fearless. Nice little dynamite will do. A little bit of extra space here was garnered, and yeah, they knew he had Primal. They're like, oh, I wonder why he's backing up into this small corner. Primal's been ripped, Scott, but I think not with very little follow-up here. I mean, Happy's not even in the fight. You can't really do all too much. Fearless escapes somehow again, but has gained an ult from that engagement. That's Nano Boost. A lot of healing onto that Primal Raging Winston. Here's Nano Boost onto Checkmate. Pelican in trouble, but no laser cancelled early. Pelican too high HP as he receives the Nano Boost. Another Nano. It's not to fill. It's just Pelican doing way too much work with it. Final fight, Scott. 50 seconds to go. Florida Mayhem have to back off as they've lost their monkey.
Pelican gets Nano just to stay alive, but then utilizes it to find damage as well. Merit back over to his Ashe, just pumping out so much damage, and the Outlaws can't close that distance. This bomb is going to be difficult to deal with for the Outlaws as Happy switches over to the Cassidy.
Oh, nice health pack pickup there, so counts as the sticky damage.
Last fight. 30 seconds remaining. Bob's already out, putting out damage, but Fearless is just trying to juggle off the point.
It's pumping out damage, Scott, but there's a rally from Violet. It's going to be good. There you go. There's the copy on the Ana. What's Pelican going to change it to? Nice name. Winston for Pelican this time around. Double Monkey. Planet of the Apes. Nice little sleep in the bubble, though. It's the Dupe v Dupe. Honestly, these battles have been more entertaining than anything else that's been going on, I'm going to be honest with you. See if Checkmate can own himself a Nano, potentially. They might not even need it, to be fair. As Pelican gets chased away, there's the laser beam, and there's the checkpoints. Florida Mayhem up 2 maps.
Wow. Florida Mayhem just looking extremely comfortable right now in the way that both of these teams are playing the game. A lot less Sombra than anticipated, but Merit being able to flex over to that hit scan is just throwing the Houston Outlaws off, and Pelican's just not able to find that consistent value on the Echo. As look at their faces of the Houston Outlaws.
Dejected.
No answers.
Yeah, wow. The whole desk, most of the chat too, voting for the Houston Outlaws. Although you can say you voted for Mayhem, no one's going to check. All good. You can change your preds right now. Did you know that?
Yeah, I voted for Mayhem.
Yeah, I bet you did. So
yeah. Don't look at my pick'ems.
No, don't look at my pick'ems. I mean, this is crazy stuff. And like I said at the very end there, it's been really entertaining actually watching Pelican and Checkmate play the Echo, dupe different targets. A double Winston for Houston Outlaws at the end, but I mean, Checkmate duping the Ana a couple of times in a row. I'd have set them up for success at the very end. Slept the duped Winston, got a nice couple of biotic grenades too, a free Nano, extra damage. Like, it's hard to deal with that, man. I mean, if you're not copying the Brig, you're copying the Ana. So many tools. You don't need the ult to win those fights.
Exactly.
You just need a good nade, or you need a good sleep, and you're good to go. Good stuff. Oh, nice stick.
It's so difficult to get the ultimate when you're in the Echo duplicate, because there's just so much damage coming out at this level that the Ana is so much neutral value of, as you said, you get that biotic grenade, you get that sleep, and if you get a Nano, that's just gravy right there.
Yeah.
But they're looking so comfortable, and honestly, I'm about it. I thought coming into this series and this split, I was expecting to see more Sombra, but both of these teams, the top-end teams, showing that Echo might be a better choice.
Houston Outlaws only losing 1 series so far this season, and that's, guess who that's against? That's against the Atlanta Reign. It might be doubled today after this series. Florida Mayhem on match point as we head over to Circuit Royale. It's back in the map pool. Are we going to see some more Winston, or will it be the classic Sigma play? We'll have to wait and see. After this break, don't go anywhere.
Your team needs you. Let's go! Now more than ever, to secure victory.
Beautiful stuff!
Simply post your epic gameplay highlights on TikTok, Twitter, or Instagram with your hero wearing your team's skin. To score big for your squad, use these 2 hashtags. Hashtag skins in the game and your team's unique hashtag. Every post earns your team a point, so rally together to dominate the leaderboard. The team with the most points will win their own in-game spray.
Unbelievable!
Turn up for hashtag skins in the game, where fans become legends.
Oh
my god! Unbelievable!
turn it way up. Get your weapon, get your blade up. Damn, instead you gon' pay up. Yo, crank that volume, turn it way up. Get your weapon, get your blade up. Damn, instead you gon' pay up.
Yo, crank that volume, turn it way up. Get your weapon, get your blade up. Damn, instead you gon' pay up. Yo, crank that volume, turn it way up. Turn it way up, turn it way up.
Crank that volume, turn it way up, way up.
The Florida Mayhem have been cooking in this small break that we've had. First match back, Scott, and it's going the complete opposite way of what people predicted. Houston Outlaws down 2 maps, man. I mean, this is kind of crazy.
With the amount of switching we've seen in this map, I'm not surprised the Florida Mayhem are ahead because adaptability and flexibility on the fly has been one of the major strengths of this team so far throughout the season from the bits and pieces that we've seen. And the Houston Outlaws, it just feels like they don't have the same level of answers. They want to play this Tracer, Echo, Winston, but it feels like Fearless is taking too much damage from the Echo Beam. It's just under 50%. You just get absolutely obliterated. And Pelican and Happy just not able to find the same value. But as you said, Jack, we're going over to Circle Royale, which is a different beast.
Let's go. Yeah, I'm curious if we're going to see the Sigma. At the end of the day, that was what was permanently played. Way back when we even had a JQ meta, it was, well, you just play Sigma on this map. Like, it's just too good. There's too many corners, too many long sight lines for your, like, Hanzo, your Widowmaker. Although, again, Widowmaker has been nerfed, so yeah, we'll see a little bit less of that, although still very, very good. Circuit, fairly interesting, too, in a way that you can play Winston, and if they really just kind of want to force it, there's also a lot of ways the Sombra can kind of get behind you. Well, not on the first point, I guess. Second point as well, it's a little bit tougher, but there's lots of routes you can kind of take, hack away some decent health packs. We'll have to wait and see. I mean, the Florida Mayhem, they're up 2 maps. They have been 2 very close maps, though, to be fair. It's not like this series is going completely Florida Mayhem's way.
Yeah, well, I hope the admins have reminded Florida Mayhem of the rules and regulations on Circuit Royale and what can and can't be done. I would hate to see another...
Honestly, okay, let me talk. Okay. That was so funny when that happened. The wall over the high ground was like, actually, we can't do that.
There's no cheating in my precious Overwatch League, Jack, okay? So I hope that they learned their lesson. No, it was inventive. It was cheating, and none of that.
Okay.
We are going to see both teams. It looks like the meta has stayed the same in Circuit Royale.
Yes.
Sigma, double flex support. I wouldn't be surprised to see Shu go over to the Baptiste. And the reason this composition is so prominent on this map is the long sight lines. It's very difficult to play a Winston because you can't close the distance. Same thing with Ramastra.
It's really tough.
So if you have your Zenyatta, your Hanzo, your Baptiste all standing far away, it's impossible to approach. So what happens, it becomes this poke battle between the 2 Sigmas to take space and find picks.
Who is feeling lucky? It's all about those Hanzo picks or the Widowmakers.
Pelican might play Genji. This is something that has been played by a lot of people in the past. No, never mind.
Okay. I was thinking maybe he deflects out of the gate.
You can execute plays. There's a lot of like roofs that you can jump over, get onto the back line. If you're confident in your own play, it can work.
You can jump over that Widow wall.
Yeah.
As Genji. If you wall climb, you can get a little clamber up on the high ground. You can jump over kind of thing.
I'm excited for Widow duels in this stage with Circuit Royale being back in the pool.
I love Widow, man.
When I'm not playing against Widow, I love watching Widow.
Yeah, when I'm not on the receiving end of a bullet through my skull, it's great. It's cool. It's very, very sniper orientated though. Oh.
The Florida Mayhem, they're giving up this first half of the point just because this is the most defensible position. Checkmate's kind of caught here. He has a Sonic Arrow on him as well.
Still heady. Ooh, try and shoot through the little flowers. Man, there's the shot. Okay. Yeah, it was only a matter of time. Good luck, Checkmate. There's no chance you get out of that. And wow, Merit on the other end of an arrow there. Pelican picks up 2, in fact.
Bit of a mistake there by Checkmate. He just put himself on an island behind that wall. Was never going to be able to close that distance as Shu takes over and puts a support diff in chat.
Support diff. And I missed chat as well, I'm gonna be honest.
It's still around.
It's level chat.
I just assumed he said it. Yeah, he didn't actually say it.
No, he said it in real life. Hello, RuPaul, what are you doing up there? Okay, force use lamp.
They're so aggressive. Look at them. Oh, is he going to drop? Oh, there's no way.
That's a bad idea. Oh, slipped off the high ground there. All good. All good. Goes Pelicans there. That's fine. That's fine. No way he just solo dragons Merit in that small room. You're telling me he solo dragons in Merit, and Merit survives.
Like, who's on the point? Who got card duty here?
Oh, it's Happy.
Oh, poor Happy.
Peace, man.
Everyone else is having fun, but there's still pressure coming out from the Outlaws. Both windows down. RuPaul falls before he gets the lamp, and Chorong will follow.
Nice stuff. Hello. Goodbye. What was that?
Got stuck with a Sonic arrow.
Yeah, I know. Checkmate just up there giving Chu a little kiss on the cheek. Oh, that's a lot of damage. Oh, good. But free push here.
Almost
for
there.
the Outlaws. It's almost there. There's Dragon Strike, high ground. Ends up Pelican getting the kill onto Violet. Can they get back to the point in time? They can. It's actually someone on point. Pelican switched over to the Genji, and there's the solo flux on Pelican. He should die to that. And finally, the Houston Outlaws have been ejected from the theater.
That's a tough part for the Houston Outlaws. You really want to get that capture because now they pretty much have to do the exact same thing again because you can see where the Florida Mayhem are setting up. They're going to make the Houston Outlaws pay for every inch that they want to try and get onto this high ground. You just can't get picked.
Yeah. Nice shield there from Fearless, knowing that Merritt's going to go for a grapple. We're up in a couple of moments, though. Sights available for Happy. Surprised he didn't pop sights there and then go for a grapple, but I mean, you kind of know maybe the audio cue from that distance. I can't really remember how far the audio cue reaches, but... Oh, that sucks.
He hit a trap.
Nice Venom mine placement. Stops Happy from going on the little staircase there with sights.
Both teams have Transcendence here and nothing else for the most part. So there's going to be damage coming out. It's going to be who will blink first, and it's going to be Chorong with a fast and early Transcendence.
Chorong just leapt into the backline with the Transcendence. Follow me, team. I mean, unfortunately, you don't really find anything. Reverse Transcendence there from Violet does the same thing. They finally picks. Shoot pretty low on the side. There he ends up going down. Swift headshot from Merritt. And now the slugfest will commence. 2 minutes and 40 seconds to go on the second.
Yeah, and now the Houston Outlaws, they have to do the exact same thing again. Slowly make their way up to the high ground, wrap their way around, and not get their heads ripped off by Merritt. More ultimates will be coming up. Fluxes for both sides, amplification matrix, even some dragons might come flying through. So that all of those ultimates are great for creating space. So it's going to be that push and pull of who's taking the space, who's using the ultimates when.
I mean, these windows are going to be pretty big, Scott. Not just in size, but in damage. Dragon Strike going pretty early again. Florida Mayhem with a really nice tempo, but there's the window. Someone dead. Flux hits RuPaul. Lamp goes down. Can they kill it beforehand? No. RuPaul dies mid-air, and the Houston Outlaws are going to clean this fight up. RuPaul unable to get that window down. The windows are so deadly. They used that Dragon Strike. They killed Violet early. Thought they could push the aggression, but it was actually Shu that stepped up with Fearless. Guaranteed the kill onto someone, and that'll be the point unlocked. 3 minutes to go.
It's something that we actually haven't talked about in this map so far. I can't think of a time I've ever seen Fearless play Sigma. He has always had Hanbin on his team. He's always been that guy. He is now the solo tank for the Houston Outlaws, and he's passing the eye test right now. He's doing his job. He's taking it to someone.
Oh my. All right. The tricky Widow duel now. This point is very tough to play Widow on if you're on the attack. Very few angles you can kind of take. You want to take this high ground, but there's no way that the Florida Mayhem are going to allow that to happen. Oh, he tried to look. Okay, that counts. Look at the arrow with the mine is. What?
It's like nudging it just a little.
There we go.
There
Okay, you got it.
Oh, wow, they're seeing each other. And once again, the Florida Mayhem, they're willing to give up the first half of the third point because it's indefensible. They'd rather have these high grounds, force the Outlaws into a difficult position. Someone drops the flux, but no follow-up.
Checkmate on a secret mission there on the sidelines. Notice that Happy gave up that high ground.
And now more time is off the clock. Mayhem has answers. It feels like they're using them more reactively now on this third point as Merritt does finally take down Violet, which will slow everything down once again. Fearless then follows.
Sorry, what? Did Shu trip on like a banana peel or something on the high ground? Like he just slipped off the edge. He was like, what? Okay. I mean, RuPaul, sorry, not Shu. Shu got the kill. That looks really silly. Well, with RuPaul dead, there's not a lot of healing and no lamp, but it doesn't really matter.
The Outlaws are just sort of slowly trying to take this space. You can see Chorong's kind of caught here through that wall.
Oh, there's another pick.
They end up taking down Shu though, so that ends up being huge for them.
Oh,
Zen on Zen.
Oh, he's 1 HP. Oh,
winnable.
Keep pre-firing, Violet. 3 HP. Oh,
I thought he was going to trance.
Yeah, so did I. Well, both Zenyatta's dead, Scott. And
wow,
this feels like very classic circuit third.
It's a very slow, methodical map.
You just need the Hanzo or the Widowmaker to make things. And it just so happens that Merit is just clicking heads faster than Happy can at this point. And their push has just been halted.
I would love to see the Outlaws commit more resources to going outside and fighting for this. So far, it's just been Violet and Shu trying to fight for it. But I want to see them take Fearless, and they're actually going to do exactly that. But Violet's dead.
Oh, man. It's been rough for Violet. I mean, it's super rough, to be fair, if you're a support.
Yeah.
You're just waiting for the snipers to kill somebody. All right.
Only 30 seconds remaining, Jack. No more chances.
Yeah. These Sigmas are so slow to build up ult because they are also not doing any damage.
Yeah.
Like, rough stuff. Snipers still waiting to find picks. Oh, we can see the top of the bow.
Okay, Fearless is coming.
Oh, this could be a good Dragon Strike. Hits Fearless. Chu is taking a lot of damage, forced to use Lamp. Rock thrown out by someone.
Great response from the Mayhem. They recognize Outlaws are going outside, instantly match it.
Someone's got a touch. Someone's got a touch. There it is. It'll be Pelican.
Are they going to notice Checkmate's flanking around the outside?
I don't know. I mean, Happy soon to know. Yes, there he is. Oh, good shot by Violet. Finally gets his revenge. Transcendence from Chorong. Trying to help someone. Yeah, double Transcendence. No one's going to die. This is from a swift headshot. Nice kick in. Oh, he missed the kick. There's the Flux. Violet in trouble. No Lamp to be found. A lot of low health bars on the side of the Houston Outlaws right now. Eventually taken care of. OT is here, and the Florida Mayhem have spawn advantage. Merit with another kill. Make that 2. And there we go. Houston Outlaws just halted to the very end. You got the cart that far, though, to be fair. Pretty decent.
It's not bad.
As a third-point push goes.
It's a difficult just map to assail in general for exactly the reasons you saw the Outlaws running into. There's just so many checks that you need to keep getting past without losing a player. You really want to snowball through, and that's why the Outlaws went so aggressively at the beginning of their second point. That's why they were in the third point, because they didn't want to have to try and take that battle against the Mayhem. Will we see something different from the Mayhem on attack, or will they just stick to the Sigma mirror? Because it is not a coin flip, but almost a gamble that you're gambling on your players to hit the shots.
You are, yeah, and it was just Merit hitting them at the very end there, just picking off Violet. I mean, Violet also got rocked by someone from halfway across the map. Like, you got your Zen going down that early. It's not great. Wow. Very different look from Houston Outlaws. This is okay. I like this a lot. So, Merit and Happy on the Widowmakers that last round. Look at that scope crit accuracy from Happy. Just way better, but final blows for Merit. 9-3.
Like, he's hitting the shots. I will say it's a lot easier to play Widowmaker on the defense because you have positioning. But the thing that Merit has over Happy is Merit can play the piano.
True.
That's unfortunate. It's unfortunate for Happy, but I think Merit's going to get the difference on this one.
Yep, there it is. It's been called.
Yeah. But yeah, there's always next time. Maybe Happy can learn an instrument by the next time we watch and compare these guys.
You know what would be really funny? If there was like a trumpet or like a trombone or something, can you actually use the mic to like scream and then it would make the trombone
absolutely not.
Why not?
No, absolutely not. I'm vetoing that one. Okay, but the Houston Outlaws, they're playing a defensive dive. So this is a very different look than what we've seen on Circuit Royale historically.
What was... well, he tried to escape. Poor Winston, man.
But now this is going to snowball away from them as well.
Yeah,
all of a sudden, Shu and Pelican are both caught. They're trying to run away.
That's really rough. Unorthodox first hold strategy there from the Houston Outlaws.
I don't know why the Outlaws just didn't expect the Mayhem to notice Fearless. As soon as they notice him, too much damage, instantly goes down.
And he's moving on the top platform, so you can hear Winston just kind of shuffling. Like, it's...
Now it's difficult as well because the Outlaws have to take space into the ridiculous amount of damage that the Mayhem are going to have. If they can win this fight, though, it would be great for the Outlaws. It would become very easy and much more likely for them to hold in the long term. But they're going uphill right now.
Yeah, they are. And, like, Happy, they have to set up with a hack, right? On Chong or RuPaul, like, and then go for the dive. But look how long it's taking them.
Look at their health bars of the Outlaws. They're just not healthy to be able to go in.
Yeah, Happy, he's waiting. Time's ticking. I tapped my watch. Time's ticking.
Nano Fearless.
Okay, Nano Fearless. Oh, my. Where'd he go? Fearless? Hello? MIA? Wow. Well, there's the first point.
If you were asking questions of why do teams play Sigma instead of the Winston, why don't they play the dive?
Yeah,
this is the great example of why not. There's just too much damage with the Discord Orb, with the long-range damage. Fearless can't get into the fights. it is the most difficult to play the Winston on the first point. So maybe we can see better looks from the Outlaws, but they don't even have ultimates up at this point. Happy's just now getting up to an EMP.
I mean, now you've used your nano, you can't nano blade. Like, this is really rough. All right, Happy setting up with a hack again. Fearless, no HP. At least she's getting a lot of ult charge, I suppose. Defensive Bionade, not what you want to see. Nice dodge, actually, from the Houston Outlaws, the entirety of them, running out of that flux. Just one ult down.
They have the EMP.
With pulse. I mean, they're stacked in the corner. Easiest pulse of your life.
They still have the ultimates. They can still win this.
EMP's good. Hits 3. Merit's down. There we go. Houston Outlaws putting their names on the board. Can they get anything more, though? That's the question. With that Transcendence, they're going to kill Violet. And Violet had that rally. Houston Outlaws still playing on the back foot, regardless of how many ults they kind of throw in right now. Oh, and Shu goes down at the very end. Pelican. Oh, no, has dash away. Checkmate holding down the fort, just isolating 3 members of the Houston Outlaws right now.
How does Fearless kill Chorong and Checkmate as pretty much the only player alive with a Primal Rage? Such a clutch play gets the Outlaws back into this fight.
It might not matter, Scott.
There's no way.
Was throwing shots out. Pelican has to get this kill. Someone is so low. How is he still alive? How is RuPaul still fighting? Sub 50 HP, still peaks. Still peaks. What a beast.
Nano
my God.
They lost the nano as well.
They lost the nano. They lost the blade. Houston Outlaws. They need to find Summit. You've got to step on the point, Outlaws. This comp, not working. I'm going to call it right now. Second point's been unlocked. 4 minutes, 30 seconds. There's been basically 2 nanos that have been thrown on the front line, but they've both gone. Now's the time to change, methinks.
It's too late. You can't change at this point. You try and switch at this point, you're walking into a massive ult discrepancy.
You have no ults, what are you saying?
But if you're the Florida Mayhem, if you try and take this Sigma duel, you're walking into ultimates, you're never going to win that fight. I think the Outlaws recognize we need to get this overclock, we need to get the primal. It's the only way they manage to live through this fight.
I mean, the crazy thing is, you said it before, Scott, but Outlaws are always low. RuPaul is putting out an immense amount of damage with the help of Chorong. It's hard to dive the backline because Chorong can kick you away and RuPaul just shoots you in the head a few times. It's really rough. I mean, they're rounding this final corner with almost 4 minutes on the timeout, Scott. A lot of ultimates too.
Yeah, someone has the flux. It's going to be difficult to find members, though. The backline of the Outlaws is on the high ground. Fearless is close.
RuPaul's window is going to come up pretty big. Nice sleep onto Merit. So Merit can't use that window, but look, Outlaws have to go back now. Flux, Pulse Bomb, Bob, Transcendence for the Florida Mayhem.
Silver lining for the Outlaws. They can hold close.
Pulse onto Pelican. Shu, Violet in trouble. Nano available. He got it off. Fearless nanoed. 1v5.
There's
1v6
no way.
if you count Bob. He's discorded. He's doing damage, but he's just getting his lights just kicked out. There it is. An unorthodox strategy from the Houston Outlaws, just completely decimated by the Florida Mayhem. A 3-0 to start off the split. Florida Mayhem looking clean, Scott. I mean, that was Outlaws. It honestly felt like first 2 maps, they were like, we got to try something new.
Yeah.
We got to try something new right now. But you go onto circuit and you play this Winston on defense. I mean, the offense looked good for them. The offense looked good. They almost got the cap on third. But the Florida Mayhem, just RuPaul, Chorong on the back line, just unable to be touched. Even Chorong, like I mentioned, he was taking duels at 50 HP.
Yeah.
Just Chad in the front line with the help of someone. Like, there was nothing that stopped them.
I think you hit the nail on the head there, Jack. The Houston Outlaws, it feels like they're playing a very different style to what we would expect from them, and it felt like the Florida Mayhem, I don't want to discredit them, they had an answer to it every single time the Houston Outlaws tried to do something. They had the answer, and it was primarily Merit on that hit scan, just putting a wrinkle every time the Outlaws tried to do anything. Too much damage.
Yep, too much damage. 2 lost nanos for Shu, very uncharacteristic of Shu, but sometimes it's like, well, I have to use it, right? And it was on a nano blade, and then Pelican just, boom, face plants the floor, small concussion, goes back to spawn, and I kind of disagree, Scott. I think they should have just changed. Like, they should have at least tried to hold on third point with that Sigma, but you are right. They were too deep in the weeds. You kind of have to stick onto that comp if you've run it through the whole map, because you've still got a little ult percentage there. I mean, there you go. Florida Mayhem with a 3-0 to start the split. Houston Outlaws losing their second match of the season. Florida Mayhem looking good, and player of the match, see who it is. It's gonna be none other than someone. I mean, Sig play looked good. Winston, Ramatra, guy can play it all.
And that's why so many people have been impressed by someone ever since he entered this league. He has great communication. You can just see him screaming into his monitor, and he does stuff like this. Drops the Shatter, takes down the Ana. He played every single hero, I think, in the tank roster except for like Wrecking Ball and Roadhog, because he can do everything at such a high level. Even on the Sigma, just coming in clutch. Someone is the tip of the spear here for the Florida Mayhem and leading them higher than we thought they would come in the summer stage.
What can't this man do? Maybe Roadhog, not sure, but even that I imagine would be crazy.
Actually, fun fact, I played ranked with him one time, and he's like, look at my Roadhog stacks. In like season 33 in Overwatch 1, he was rank 1 and rank 2 on Roadhog only. He can play Roadhog too. He can do it all.
He could do it all. Nothing he can't do. I mean, it would have been someone or Checkmate. Checkmate's duplications as well on Embody were crazy. The Ana play looked so good. Another person that can clearly play all three roles pretty damn well. Florida Mayhem with a fantastic start, knocking down the Houston Outlaws, giving them their second match loss of the season so far. This top 1, 2, and 3 have just been so competitive, but now it feels like Mayhem fighting at the heels of the Atlanta Reign.
This is only the first match, so we don't want to over-exaggerate what's going on, but if Sombra really is falling out of the meta like both of these teams started showing, it could be used still some, but it might not be as impactful. What does this mean for the rest of the league? Is Atlanta still #1? Is everyone else still going to play? Is Lip just going to one-trick Sombra to success? And is everyone else trying to find a solution to it?
I mean, there's Sombra and their backline. It's good. We'll have to wait and see, of course. Atlanta Reign are actually playing the London Spitfire after this break. Do not go anywhere. Mayhem with a strong start to this split so far. We'll be right back.
Let's go, bro. Let's go, bro. Let's get ham, girlfriend.
오케이! 플로리다! 파이팅!
마이크 체크하죠, 여러분.
마이크 체크.
민규 말해볼래? 한 번 더 계속 말해봐.
기훈이 계속 말해봐. 날 좀 제발 나 죽어. 그럼 나 죽어.
죽어, 그러면.
죽어.
크게 하래, 크게.
민다 몽키.
아니, 크게 하라고.
야야야야야. 너무 막 지르지 말아줘. 나 게임 사운드 묻혀가지고. 좀.
민철 카메라 인사해줘.
카메라 비춰줘.
인사해줘.
안녕하세요. This is Korean.
This is mayhem.
코리아는 아메리카.
Thank you.
즐기지 못하고 있네, 주석이 형. 저렇게 할 거면 차라리 그 하늘을 던지는 거 뭐 재밌게.
도전을 할까?
형이 만약에 잠에서 딱 일어났어. 생각나는 캐릭터가 한주야, 소전이야? 소전이야. 오케이, 소전.
안녕하세요. 처음 만난 사람 모두 안녕하세요. 안녕.
몇 초에 화팅해? 하지마.
하나, 둘.
자,
10초에.
하나, 둘.
하나, 둘.
화이팅!
우리 팬은 한 200명 있다.
우리 팬은 오프라인 잘 안 와. 온라인에 많아. 온라인에 3명 있어. 엄마, 아빠, 누나.
야 여기야 동아가 여기 10명이 짬이 얼만데 약간 높게 있으니까 좀 이상한데.
그래, 우리는 몇 년 아니지만.
동아이 혼자 뉴비야 지금. 얘 혼자 뉴비야?
하경이도 누비잖아.
나 작년에
하경이도 뉴비긴 하지.
항상 뉴비지. 그래서 너도 뉴비야.
나 뉴비 아니야.
여기 끝자리가 안 좋네. 스피커가 잘 들리네. 기준이가 고생했겠네.
사이드에서
그래.
그냥
아니, 고생 좀 했다고.
그래서 반응을 못했구나.
잘 안 들리더라고.
그러면 너 지금 좆된 거야. 너 지금 다 해야 돼, 반응.
I think today we reel no pressure. I think enemy team, they lose, holy maybe happy don't have girlfriend tomorrow, but we win or lose, Ham don't have girlfriend anyway, so it doesn't matter. Why we have pressure, okay?
true. 아니야, 동아가 심호흡 한번 지금.
맞지, 야. 200번 확인해서.
이게 안 떨릴 줄 알았는데 이제.
원상이가 떨려?
Welcome back, everybody. Oh man, we gotta talk about those comms, man. Who was it that said, "This is Korean"?
I don't know. Someone
This is
Florida.
Korean.
guys. RuPaul's like,
The RuPaul just sits there, it's like, yeah.
And an American.
Oh man. I mean, hey, we gotta talk about this match. It was quite an upset. I mean, we all thought that Houston Outlaws were gonna get the win, but we were 100% wrong. It was Florida Mayhem beating the Houston Outlaws.
Chat, we're wrong too. 88%.
That is true. So all of us, or 86% of you guys are wrong. Only 14%. Yeah, we're bad with math. You said 12?
I thought it was 88% too.
No, it was 86,
oh,
so it was 14%.
Well, 14 then.
But
yeah.
hey,
I'm not that stupid. Come on now.
But I mean, Florida Mayhem. I think
they
it was
prepared.
They did. I think that was the answer. I think they had all the answers to whatever Houston had prepared for this match, and they look good.
I mean, I think Florida's done something that historically you've seen like sort of bottom tier teams do, where they pull out like tons of different specialized comps in every map. But the key difference for Florida is they're not a bottom team. They've been executing really well. They've got a ton of solid players. You have a monster hit scan like Merritt to back you up on any of these cheese strats, often that revolve around him as a player. And their execution looks great. So I think this is just a very difficult style to play against. Houston, they're bringing more or less what we expect to see. A ton of Winston dives, Pelican, lots of Echo, maybe sometimes it's a Sombra Genji, but these are comps that most players know about. I mean, it's one thing to understand they're going to play. It's another thing to take on the fearless Winston, which few teams have been able to do. But for Florida, I mean, they're playing like 10 different comps this match. So for Houston, it's like you're constantly changing your style of play, constantly on the back foot, because you're constantly adapting to what Florida is setting the tempo on. And I think that's why they look so strong in this match.
I think it's so impressive how Florida Mayhem, they play so many compositions, but they do it with confidence, and they still execute perfectly as well. Because, I mean, when someone is swapping between Winston and playing Reinhardt on first and now playing Sigma here, and there's just no letting go. They're pressuring Houston Outlaws at every turn, every situation. So Florida Mayhem, they were very comfortable playing this style. We talked about it going into the game as well. Houston Outlaws, they were really good in the first half of the season in the spring stage, just playing Winston for the most part and diving in these compositions. But Florida Mayhem, they had the opportunity this match to play some other types of compositions, and I think they showed us that they are really a good team and they have the opportunity to flex between all these compositions and styles like this.
That was just a monster shot from Merritt.
I think one of the standout players for this match, Jake, was definitely Chorong on that brig as well, right?
Yeah, I wanted to highlight Chorong. We got a couple clips of him on the brig. You know, something I have personal experience on. Playing brig against Fearless is very, very difficult. This guy has masterful jumps, and so many times it was this whip shot from brig that was a game changer. Also, you know, getting in the mix with his rallies, looking really strong. I think especially when you're going to change your style a lot, play a ton of different comps, that puts a lot of pressure on this main support role where you kind of need to be in the center of your team. You need to be keeping track of everything that's going on, what everyone is doing. And Chorong just did that masterfully. I think it's a role that often doesn't get, you know, much highlight because you're kind of just holding things down for your team. But if there's a problem with your main support, everybody on the team is going to feel it and things are going to fall apart. So, you know, props to Chorong, just so stable despite all this variance his team's bringing to bear.
Yeah.
Do you think Florida Mayhem is going to continue this? Because I think we saw how many different comps from Florida Mayhem? Like it was
gotta be like 5, 6. I mean, at least from like the fundamental core swaps. Like
even on Busan, we saw comps as well, and
yeah. I do want to say though, I think the death of Sombra is highly overstated from that match.
Oh,
right?
sure, yeah.
I do think we see Nimbani and Circuit, two of the worst summer maps in the game. Nimbani, first point is just you can't really get anywhere on Sombra. You got all these thin tunnels where you get spy chicks so easily. So no surprise not seeing Sombra there. And then Circuit is just it's a poke map.
We got Lip next. So.
Yeah, I mean, if we see Lip if Lip doesn't play Sombra, then we'll say, okay, Sombra is dead.
Sure.
But
and I know we didn't see Busan that much, but it was a long time ago, you know, the beginning of the series. But I mean, Busan was dominated by Sombra from both teams. So I do think we will see more Sombra, especially in this next match with Lip.
Yeah, but I mean, hey, for this one, Florida Mayhem, great job, 3-0 victory against the Houston Outlaws. It's time for the post-match interview, and we have none other than someone, my MVP.
Hey.
Let's go. Hi, someone 선수 안녕하세요. I mean, it's been 3 weeks. I missed you a lot. I just want to start off this interview by asking you, what did you do during the break? 자, 일단 다시 봐서 저의 개인적인 MVP 서머 선수 다시 봐서 너무 반갑고요. 지금 3주 동안 좀 이제 쉬는 좀 이렇게 시간이 있었는데 이 시간 동안 좀 어떻게 지내셨나요?
일단은 조금 휴식을 취하면서 이제 시즌을 준비했지만 이제 미드 시즌에 떨어진 게 다 저희가 못했기 때문에 떨어진 거라 생각했기 때문에 좀 더 개인 연습이나 팀 연습에 좀 집중을 했던 것 같아요.
All right. I mean, I did also get a lot of rest during the 3 weeks, but more than that, because we lost in the mid-season madness, and that was because of us playing bad. So I think as a team sort of focused more on not only like getting more team practice, but also increasing our individual practice as well. Talking about mid-season madness, that sort of leads into my next question. You guys actually lost to the Houston Outlaws in the mid-season madness, but today in these Summer Qualifiers first match, you guys played them again, and you guys beat them 3-0. So what sort of changed for you guys, do you think? 자, 다음 질문도 방금 이제 서머 선수가 말씀하셨다시피 미드 시즌에서 휴스턴한테 패배를 한 후에 오늘 다시 오랜만에 돌아와서 휴스턴과의 재경기가 있었는데 오늘은 3-0으로 승리를 거두셨습니다. 이게 좀 뭐가 바뀐 것 같으신가요?
일단 저희가 이제 휴스턴이 아나브리를 잘하는 걸 알고 있고 이제 다이브를 잘하는 팀을 알고 있기 때문에 그 점이 좀 저희한테 조합 짜기가 쉬웠고 그리고 그걸 위주로 좀 많이 조합을 연습하면서 했던 것 같아요.
All right. So I think because we all know that Houston is a great dive team and they like to use a lot of on a brig with their dive compositions. So it was sort of easier for us to counter that composition and come up with our own compositions to get us the win against Houston Outlaws today. So we had a lot of practice with that in mind with